and another in Hindi, that is being conducted every month. The agenda of this meetings is with a primary focus of what needs to be done versus actual versus what next. That is, the primary focus is about what are the activities that is accomplished by the university coordinators and what can be planned so that more and more UHV can be spread across the various institutes and among the faculty and institute, okay, is being discussed. Along with this, we also have a secondary focus on clarity of vision and developing the personal competence. These meetings are conducted on third Thursday of every month in English for ER region, that is Eastern region, Southern region, South Central region, and Southwestern region from 2 to 4 p.m. And in Hindi, it is being conducted on fourth Thursday of every month from 2 to 4 p.m. for Northwestern region, Northern region, Central region, and Western region. Next slide, Bhaiya. Coming to the updates of the coming weeks. Next slide, Bhaiya. The plans in the near future, we have online UHV workshops that have been announced and introductory 5 days, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on all days open to all except students have been scheduled from 11 to 15th March 2024 in English. And UHV 2 of 6 days from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on all days is open to those faculty who possess a certificate of successful participation of UHV introductory FDP. These are conducted in both Hindi and English. In Hindi, it is being conducted from 18 to 23rd March 2024, and in English, it is being conducted from 25th March to 30th March 2024. The link for registration is available on FDP AICT portal. And I request all my co-explorers to notify or remind all the concerned at the earliest to register for these courses, especially UHV2, in order to fulfill the requirements for the next academic session. And if you have any queries for Hindi FDPs, you can contact Dr. Priyadarshini ji. And for English FDPs, you can contact Sharat Chandra ji. Next slide, Priya. The upcoming FDPs, that is self-funded face-to-face introductory workshops, are planned for bilingual, that is Hindi-English, from 11 to 13th March at Meerut Institute of Technology, Meerut, UP. And in English, it is being planned from 28th March to 30th March at Acharya Institute of Technology, Bangalore, Karnataka. Along with this, we also, as each one of us are part of UHV family as a volunteers. So there is a volunteers meet that are being planned in the month of April and May 2024 regional wise. Along with this, we also have a face-to-face UHV3 FDP in English that is planned in Chennai. This FDP is for the RCs and for the faculty who have already completed UHV2 or those faculties who are teaching UHV2 in their institutes for their benefit and for this self-exploration. This UHV3 FDP is planned. The resource materials of UHV are available in the AICT induction portal. Thank you, Didi, for this opportunity. Over to you, Didi. Thank you so much, Didi.
Yeah, Ishta Didi, thank you so much for the updates. And I hope each and every co-facilitator may get benefited and you may enroll yourself as well as you may guide your friends and colleagues to get uh, to uh, to get benefit. Thank you so much, Ishrat Didi. And it's time to invite our resource person, uh, Aparajita Didi. Aparajita Didi, welcome Didi. You are most welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Didi.
Yeah, Didi, please, Didi. You are
Didi.
most welcome.
Ji, namaste.
Namaste, Didi. Thank you for joining with us.
Yeah, Didi. Thank you, everyone, for joining in this meeting. In fact, this is a family gathering, as Didi was saying. So we are all gathered here to just discuss the UHV proposals. Last time we were discussing Any questions are there to whatever has been discussed till now? Anyone has any questions, then we can take that. Last time I'll just share the slides from my side. Yeah. So this was the last question that we were discussing last time. So this gathering, this meetings are here so that when we gather together over here, we try to understand the proposals, and then we are also looking at the frequently asked questions that may be coming. Even those would be our own questions as well as questions of our students. If they are the questions of our students, then how do we go about, placing them in a way that helps our students to self-explore. So in the last session, we were talking about trust, trust, the foundation value. So we are talking about harmony at the level of the family. We all want to live with continuous happiness and prosperity. And to be happy in continuity, we got to understand the harmony at all the four levels. And in that sequence, we have been discussing these proposals. Now we have come to the third level, that is harmony at the level of the family, in which last time, since many times, in fact, Saturdays, we have been discussing about trust. Trust, the foundation value, in which we were discussing some of the FAQs. So when we talk about trust, trust is to be assured that the other wants to make me happy, to be assured that the other's potential, the other's intention, as I can see, my intention is also pure, the other person's intention is also pure. What we lack, I also lack so many times. The other person is also lacking the competence. So I drop the glass. Whenever I drop the glass, I know that there was no intention behind. My intention was pure. I didn't want to drop the glass. I can see my intention, but then can I see also the intention of this other person? So seeing the intention of the other person, that the intention of the person is always pure, as my intention is always pure, the other person may be lacking competence. So with this value, the trust, only we can go ahead to see whether other nine values, that other rest of the values, you know, we can explore on them. But to start with, this is a foundation in any relationship, trust. So in that, we are just discussing some of the questions. So the questions would be like, what is the difference between reaction or response? So anyone has any questions related to trust, or any sharings they would want to share with us as far as trust is concerned? Vishwas ka bhav. Any of our family members have joined in for the first time? Would they want to place their understanding as to what do they understand by trust? Or is there clarity on this? Anyone would want to share? So when we say reaction, when do we react and when do we respond? What do you think? Can you relate to any of your uh, incidences that in which you responded and in which you reacted? When did you react? When do we keep reacting? When does the mother hit the child? When do I shout at my colleague, or I have an irritation for my colleague? The other colleague had come to at my table to ask for something. Now, what is going on in me? Is there trust in me right now for the other person? Can I see that whenever I do not have this feeling of trust, I react? I doubt on the intention of this other person. Whenever I have this doubt on this intention of this other person, there is a reaction in me. Priya Didi is writing, when there is a feeling of opposition. Yes. So when do we react? Whenever we'll have to look into ourselves. So yes, that those morning sessions that we are maybe attending, many of us, these are uh, it comes as an information to me, but then it doesn't stay with me. I got to be aware every moment for that, because at times I'm not aware that this is going on in me. All this opposition is building up. It is like a snowball that is falling down the mountain, and it gathers mass, you know and it just rolls down, it rushes down, and then there is a splash all over. Does this happen? So it keeps building in us. When it is started off, when it is just sprouted, when it was a small snowball, it was easy to handle. Now it has just become so big, it has gathered so much mass, and it is rolling down all full with full speed. And then whenever we react outside, we think that, oh, it just happened, I didn't want to. No? This person said this, and it was like I was out and all over the place. So was it just that moment, or this opposition for this person was building up in me? So I went to the boss's room, and the boss was very irritated, and asked me to just leave the office. And I'm like, what has happened? I didn't just go and say anything. Just looking at my face, what has happened to the boss? What is going on in me? Am I looking into my own intentions and the other this person's intention as well? Does the other person want to be unhappy and react like this? Or right now, the person is not having the competence for that. Whenever I'm able to see that the intention of the other person is pure, so many times it does happen that it is not because of you. The boss was really having some, like, so many things going on. And in the thick of the moment, you entered in. And in fact, at times, the boss didn't even see you and did react to you. And you think that it's because of you that the person has shouted at you, and you carry all the opposition for this person. In fact, at this moment only, does it come strike us also how unhappy we are. And at times, the boss must have not even seen me. So many times. Has this also happened with us, with our family members? They are into their own, they are into their own some work, and they've not just looked into it. And then they later on say, oh, I didn't to see you only. Does it happen like that? Yeah, Madhvi Didi, would you want to share something? Maithili Didi? And so many times, with this doubt on intention of the other, we may have just spoiled our relationship. And at times, we would have not even talked to so many people, and that has got built up over the time. And these relationships have got so much strained. When this feeling of trust, when we discuss, we do, you know, uh, draw attention of our participants to just see how many are there. Is there a list of such people with me as well? And let me call one person today. And what happens is this other person is also waiting. This other person was also thinking of just talking to you. And it was so nice that you had made a call to this person. And all that opposition was there, it just fizzled out. Unnecessary, that unhappiness was there that was going on in me. Then I realized it all so useless. So much of time and all my energy has gone into this. Does it happen like that? Anyone would want to share an incident from your side? Does it happen with you? Do you see this? That this trust and intention is so very important in relationship. Yeah, is it?
Didi, can I share my reflection on this?
जी शुक्रिया दीदी. Namaste दीदी. Welcome.
Namaste, namaste, Didi. Didi, one thing I feel in this trust concept, the intention of everybody is pure. That proposal I could able to see. And when this comes to the competence, whenever I react on the others, whenever I do shout at others, I was just checking what dependability I have with others. Say, for example, if I shout at my mom, like for spilling a food or not preparing the way I want, I was checking my inability, my competence. I am also depending on her for the food. What is my level of competence? And why do I shout with her? I'm also not equally responsible enough to take care of my own needs. At that time, she is helping me to take care of my body. So I am also depending on her. So what is my level of competence? So this kind of connections I'm trying to do. What is my dependency with every people I work on? Sometimes I could able to see there is a lot of my inability of doing these things, and I am also depending on the people for that things to happen, and through that I'm trying to get the happiness. So that is what my competency is. I'm also trying to put an effort to develop that competence. And now I could able to see every time I connect with the intention, I connect another with the competence, which has been got shifted. Now more on to their intention is good and how much is lagging of my competence. But working on other competence at this point, I am not taking much only because I could see a lot of lack in competency in myself. So, yeah, reactions, it has been so much reduced, but the reactions were happening within me that shows my lack of competence. This is what I could able to see within me, Didi. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Nice, Didi. You are exploring well. So the whole purpose of these workshops and joining these weekly meetings and all is that we keep connected and we help ourselves out of this situation, because the situation of opposition that we are in, we don't want to be in that. And yes, exploring
True.
within so that we become aware. You know?
Mm,
Jeev Didi.
thank you, Didi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Didi. So we become aware very early so that that snowball that is really building up in us, we are able to tap it very, very early and see, frizzle it out there itself and see, yes, here, no, that doubt on intention is there. Ji, Priya Didi. Namaste, Didi.
Namaste. Didi, I'm audible?
Ji, ji, Didi.
Yeah. Didi, I was observing that this whenever uh, to whom we are having that feeling of relationship, no, Didi, always, I was observing it to my mother. Even she does anything wrong, also, I will not, since I have that feeling of relatedness always, I will not no, I'll not feel anything, or even if she sometimes scolds me for some reason, something which I don't do the work, at the correct time and all, but I don't feel that bad within me, because with her, I feel the intention is not to not make me unhappy. She's telling her what is in the mind, and it is okay for me. Like she's telling for the good. But when it happens with somebody else, no, with, for example, my husband, or like if they're telling, I will not. Suddenly, like I can understand why they are telling the negative, like that I feel. But then I observe that because must be that opposition feeling is there in me. Like you tell, no, it gets built up, even a small thing they tell, it might sometimes no, I go into the reaction mode, even if I don't tell out sometimes, but inside I can feel that reaction. So this, even we have learned so many, so we have heard of trust so many times, but still we doubt the intention of few people. And also that relatedness and opposition I can feel, Didi. Sometimes I feel that relatedness to my husband, son, and all, most of the time. But when I'm reacting, then I observe, oh my, I've gone into opposition. So those things I am able to see. But still, that response mode is not there all the time. Reaction mode comes and goes. But with few people, I can see with my colleagues and all, I'm in the response mode. Might be they are outside. I feel I don't know why it happens. I could see every time with the colleagues and friends, I am in the response mode. But only with the close family members, I tend to be in the reaction mode.
Yeah, Didi. With mothers, at times we are saying whatever we want to say to them, and we are so irritated, and we are all over the place with our mothers. But mothers do understand, oh, they are having a bad time today, so they do
Yeah,
understand.
that
Na?
might be the reason, Didi. My mother, my father, after my father left, I'm very careful with her. Like, no, I should not. Before, when in the teenage and in the that time, I used to react back. But now, like since they become old, we are very careful. I'm very careful. Like, no, I don't react to her. That also might be the reason.
Mm. Yes, Didi. Now you may be even being more careful, as if na, you should not be saying something that hurts her because now your father is not there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe you are also seeing that maybe at times na, we are when we are low and the competence becomes less na, so your father is not there. That's why you can say this to me today. Maybe earlier also you must be saying, but now maybe it hurts her or something. So maybe you are more careful that she should not get hurt. You know? That
yes,
may be the
Didi.
reason. Yeah. Yes, Didi. Yeah, the whole purpose is to see, be aware of what is going on in us, isn't it? Yeah. So with people whom we are very sure that they know, they will not take us otherwise. We at times are very casual with them and we know they will not take us otherwise. But when such situations occur, then we become careful about it. But yes, with family members, we have so many incidences. And at times we may will have to see that na, that feel because of trust, are we not reacting with our people whom we meet very less, or it is like we are ignoring them so many times, and we can ignore them because we are not interacting with them so many times. But is it trust? Na? Or we'll have to just look into it and more. The thing is, I think it's very difficult. It's not easy. We all are making an effort, and thus we are all joining these meetings again and again, and we are there so that we do not forget it and we improve our awareness about what is going on in us. Yeah. जी गीता जी, नमस्ते दीदी.
Namaste, Didi. Namaste to all.
Namaste.
I very just now there was a small incident which I thought I'll share. Actually, these 3 days are holidays: Saturdays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But my husband works in the state government, and he works in a district. So वो पैक करके घर आ गए थे, but there was some emergency. So he had to go. Yesterday somehow we managed because Shivratri. Today he was not willing. He was because he had some bad experience on Thursday. He blocked the door, the door got locked, and he suffered a lot. So बहुत परेशान होके आए थे, तो मैं बोली ठीक है, मैं आऊंगी तुम्हारे साथ. I'll send my daughter to college with her डब्बा and then I'll come. तो हम लोग निकले दोनों एंड एक टोल पे पहुंचे, तो ही शोज हिज कार्ड, तो वो भेज देता है टोल में. तो आज क्या किया, वो बोला कि नहीं आप पे करो. तो देन ही पेड द मनी. ऐसे तुम्हारे साथ से मेरे को हमेशा बैड लग, देखो पैसे देने पड़ा, बट somehow I'll share it later. So but was uh, I did not react because I know that it's a very stressful situation. So I have started understanding even in this that there is some, I can feel that the other person is under stress, and I have learned how to uh, be calm.
Or so many times it
But
does, it may must have also happened, Didi, that you wouldn't have said something back, But if you were pleasant, like inside, then the other person also realizes that, oh, I didn't say the right thing. And then so many times. And at times when we get into these, opposition, we say something, the other person says something, and there is an argument. The other person is also not able to realize that opportunity wherein this could have been an opportunity for the other person also, na, to just look inside and see okay, whether this was the right thing to do or say or something like that. Don't you think so? So that you didn't say anything, then maybe you didn't say anything. Why?
I
Because
didn't say.
you
I
saw that
didn't even.
he's upset, so you didn't say.
Uh,
Maybe he would have not said anything, but he would have just. It could have struck them. Oh, I shouldn't have said this
yeah.
after some time. You know?
Now I'm
Didi,
able
what I
to
feel
see
is
that.
Geeta Didi didn't, she has trust on intention with him. That's why
Yes,
she could
yes.
feel that her husband doesn't want to make her unhappy. But that time he was very disturbed. So he told like
Uh,
that. So Geeta Didi
may-
could, the trust on intention you are able to have with your husband. That might be the
before
reason you will
Didi,
react.
before UHV, if this I used to go back so fiercely, but now it's not coming. It has come out somehow softened. That reaction is not coming.
Absolutely, what the Didi was saying, Priya Didi. So with the
Yeah,
trust on intention, no, you didn't
yeah,
react to it.
very
And this
true.
also gave the space for the other person to
Mm,
no, reflect within, isn't it?
mm,
So many times it happens with us. No, the other person, we expect now this other person is going to say something back. But the person is
mm.
not said it is pleasant, then you realize, oh, this was not the right thing to say. And
Yeah, it's so interesting. I thought
yes,
I should share
yeah,
immediately what happened now.
nice. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yes. So we all are reflecting within and seeing those small, small successes that we have. We can really pat our backs on it and we can appreciate ourselves for that. And it is going to make our own lives better and lives of people around us also better, isn't it? Yeah. So when we say reaction and response, so we'll just go into the next slide. We just a bit exemplifies this. Okay, when do we respond and when do we react? So whenever you decide you're feeling on your own right. So here the Didi was saying, na? So with the feeling of trust, she did not react. है ना? So she decided, not her husband didn't decide, but she decided to be calm with that feeling of trust. She didn't say anything. Understanding that right now the competence of the other person is low. Right now, my competence is better. I can see that. So with the trust on intention, I'll express the way I should. So other is not deciding, I am deciding. So response, you decide your feeling on your own right. But whenever there's reaction, you decide your feeling based on the behavior of the other. So many times you keep saying, but the boss is like this, but the colleagues are like this. But this person is like this only. That's why I had to, shout at this person. So we'll have to just see whether we are responding or reacting and what is going on in me at that point in time. Are we aware of it? So whenever we are responding, it is based on right understanding. You always have the right feeling. So I have the feeling of trust for the other person. It is definite, unconditional. So whatever be the state of the other person, whatever would be the expression of the other person, I am having a different response, isn't it? So it's definite that my conduct is definite there. The behavior of the other is only an indicator of the state of the other. With that input, you decide your behavior to ensure mutual happiness. And in that process, we also give space for the other person that time to reflect within. The person other also reflects within. And yes, the expected behavior that we expect from this other person is possible. Otherwise, we get into these arguments and all that opportunity has got fizzled out. Don't you think so? At that point in time. So, response, you decide your own behavior, you are self organized, your conduct is definite. And when we react, It depends upon whether you like or dislike the behavior of the other person. So the taste that it leaves behind, whether it's of your liking or dislike, at times those, feel that behavior of opposition, you like that behavior. Now we tell our friends at times, you give him back very nicely. है ना? You gave him back very nicely with all that reaction. I like that reaction. No? So I think that it is a right. It is according to my taste. But was it is naturally acceptable? Was I able to see relationship with this other person? So all that reflection we will be doing. So reaction depends upon whether you like or dislike the behavior of the other person. And if the other person behaves properly, you have a right feeling, and you also may behave properly. But if other person does not behave the way you want, what you were expecting, then what happens? You have a wrong feeling, and you may also misbehave. So that is what is reaction. So here we can we see that I am enslaved. I am not deciding. I am not deciding it. The remote control is with the other person. The other person's state, his behavior decides what is going on in me, what is my behavior outside. No? This person shouted at me, so I had to shout back. This person does these tasks like this, that's why I have to give him back like this. So, was it my decision? So, everyone around us, are they deciding what should be my state right now and what should be my behavior, or I should decide it? Huh? So, here we are saying that whenever we are reacting, this is an enslavement. Can we see that? That I am not. And at times we are filled with so much of guilt whenever we do that. It could be right after that incidents happen, or when we reflect back and see. We are filled of guilt that, oh, we shouldn't have done that. We should have said those words. We shouldn't have expressed like that. So here, whenever we are responding, our conduct is definite. And here, when we say, whenever we are reacting, our conduct is indefinite. So this is what is reaction and response. And we must have seen those videos of reaction response, no? Right here, right, right now, right here, right now. Yeah, that video is a very nice one for us all to see and reflect. That is how it is happening with our lives also. Yeah, anyone would want to share something till whatever has been said here till now? So we have been discussing trust since so many weekly meetings here. This is another question that I always thought that desires and intention are exactly the same. So there is a confusion between desire and natural acceptance. Can you clarify these three words? What do you think? Desire and natural acceptance are one and the same thing, or is it different? What would be your answer to the student if they are asking this question? Anyone would want to attempt that? You can unmute and just place your understanding of this. Do you think that desire and intention are exactly the same? Are they the same? Are they different? Natural acceptance means something that comes naturally to us, isn't it? Yeah, anyone would want to attempt this, want to say something about this? So we have so many people here. Shashikant Bhaiya is there. Venkata Sandeep Bhaiya is also there. Soumya Didi is there. We have Anand Kumar Bhaiya also. So many of us. But we want to discuss this. Desire and natural acceptance. Yeah, Nirupam Didi, what do you think? Gautam Bhaiya. Padma Ladda Didi is also there.
जी नमस्ते दीदी, नमस्ते सभी को।
Ji, namaste
हाँ जी,
Didi.
intention is natural acceptance And desired may be any kind of acceptance, any acceptance, I mean. And nature acceptance are universal. So intention refers to nature acceptance, while I may say that desired may be aligned to nature acceptance, and sometimes my desire might be coming from preconditioning or some of the sensations too. So these are not same.
Badiya Didi. Let's also listen into Anand Bhaiya, Anand Kumar Verma ji.
Namaste, Devi.
Ji, namaste Bhaiya.
Desire may or may not be naturally acceptable, madam. That is depending on the type of desire. If it is naturally acceptable, then we will consider it is natural acceptable. Sometimes desire may not be naturally acceptable.
Bhaiya, absolutely. So
Then
we'll have to see all our desires, isn't it? So someone wants to steal something. This is this person's desire.
that is not naturally acceptable.
Yes. So I wanted to shout at this person back. Yeah. So I have to see this. I have to just, give back to this person. This person had said this to me. Today I'm going to really give back to this person. Now, what is going on in me? Is it naturally acceptable to me? No, it is my desire. But is it naturally acceptable to me? That is what we'll have to look into. Ji.
Then earlier, when Madam spoke about the reaction and respond with the relatives, that is husband or son or like that. What she told, outside people, I am responding, but my husband or son or daughter, I am reacting like that. That is actually psychologically outside people. If they hurt us, we will not take it much serious. If the loved ones, our expectations will be more. That is our psychological condition. So definitely, if husband opposes or says something negative or object or something, then these people expectation will be more. So immediately they will react. So that is depending on the psychological condition. If a right understanding is there, then we can respond to both the family members as well as the outside people.
Yes, Bhaiya, absolutely. At times we may not be reacting to others because we don't feel related to them also.
Yeah, yeah.
है ना? We are,
Outside people, if they hurt us, even though seriously, then we cannot react based on the situation. If we react, then we will be again affected severely by the outside people. That fear also will stop us to react sometimes.
yes. So at times the so many time example is given, na, ki
Yeah.
someone is dashing your car and
Mm.
you don't know from behind and you are like you go out to talk to this person. How come? And when you see a bodybuilder coming out of that car,
Yeah, we
and
can adjust. We can adjust.
then what is it that we are not having reactions going on in us? Reaction is going on in us, but
Yeah,
now I'm
yeah.
not.
What
I've
is,
decided not to express outside.
but not showing reaction.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. So it is not that I'm able to see relatedness with this other person, but
Yeah.
right now I'm not responding because I'm not reacting because I don't think it is appropriate right now. So I'm just weighing things, whether it would be right or not right to right now talk to him or the other person like that. So is it because of the relationship or or
Yeah.
not? We'll have to just look into, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. Absolutely. So many times when people outside, it could be my neighbor or it could be some, a student,
Yeah.
I can ignore that my student. But my son, I am not able to ignore because I am seeing that here I'll have to look into and see that I see that I'm related to my son only. Why? Because I have this blood relation
Yeah.
and I am
Love.
not related to my student. है ना?
Yes.
There
Yes.
I am not seeing the relationship with my student.
Yes.
You know? and with that attachment with my son, now I want to correct my son anyhow, and
Yeah.
then maybe I'll just go shout at him, and I just want to anyhow, I may tax him also so many times so that he has this right behavior, because it matters to me so much now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with my student, if he's misbehaving, okay, I can ignore him. So we'll have to see with that, we are not reacting at that point. So what is exactly is going on in me? Am I able to see the relationship because of that? Or I'm not able to see the relationship because of that? Yes. Ji Maithili Didi, want to say something, Didi? You put on the chat. Would you want to share on the mic? Ji Didi. Ji Namaste Didi.
Yeah, yeah. Namaste, madam. Namaste, madam. Sorry, just now my daughter came from my examination. I just inquired about the examination here. Sorry, madam. So regarding the desire is nothing but it's a strong wish, and the natural acceptance is that is it will happen spontaneously.
Nice. So say
Madam.
namaste to
Yeah.
your daughter.
Yeah.
I hope she's doing
Thank you.
well.
Yeah.
I
Thank
met
you, Didi. Thank you.
I met her in that workshop. I do remember.
Yeah, Didi. Yeah, and she has done well. All the exams. One more exam is there.
Ji.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice
So
to have
regarding
our
this difference, yeah,
Ji.
yeah, please, Didi.
Yeah, nice. So it's nice to have our family members in those workshops, and we get connected to all of them. Yes, nice. In this last workshop, only in the online workshop, one of our participant happened to just introduce his wife to me, that she was also listening to the workshop, uh, as he was also listening. So it was so nice. I said it's very nice that we are having our family members also there, so that the kind of conversations that go on in our homes can also take this flavor of of how to live. In fact, yeah. So Didi is saying that desire is the strong wish towards something that to happen, but natural acceptance is a spontaneous desire. So we'll have to see that. At times, the spontaneous desires also, na? Someone shouted at me, I shouted back. It was so spontaneous, and the very second only I remembered that this is what I shouldn't have done. है ना? So that could be spontaneous, but it is not naturally acceptable. है ना? I'll have to see that. So at times, naturally acceptable feelings is something that is natural to me. So at times, my desires are not natural. That comes naturally to me, naturally acceptable to me. So many times, desires may not be naturally acceptable to me. Yeah. So thank you. What do you mean by competence? I mean, I can find out their skills. Is that their competence? So regarding competence, if this is the question. Ji, Nirupam Didi?
Yeah, Didi. Competence is sum of desire, thoughts, and expectation. And competence really does mean that how much of my desire, thought, and expectations are aligned to my natural acceptance. Uh, the more it is aligned to the natural acceptance, the my competence is better. And a skill may be a part of it. Actually, a skill may be a kind of a skill education. Means whether I am good at studies or at in my profession, but competence is about my desire, thoughts, and expectation, which is being aligned to natural acceptance. That's all I wanted to tell. Thank you.
Ji, Didi. Ji, thank you so much, Didi. Yeah, anyone else would also want to talk about this competence? So, do we really mean, what do we mean by that? So, do we mean by the skills that the person has? The person is very skilled, so what we say, the person is very competent. So, is he competent with that craft? है ना? that whatever the person is doing, maybe it could be playing a musical instrument, could be writing a software program, or maybe carpentering a table or furniture. That could be the skill. So when we are saying competence here, what is there? That's clarity there. So competence, as is written in the response here. Ji, Shashikant bhaiya, namaste.
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 What I felt about competence is it is an ability to perform a given task in a given environment. Now, of course, this ability of performing is a function of explicitness as well as implicitness. And in implicitness, this desire, thought, and expectations are going to be core. And in an explicit manner, then your maybe linguistic abilities or your skill set may be partially attached to that. I mean, breaking away the skills from the competency is a little bit difficult. What is said in the answer that skill is a part of the competence is absolutely right. But then the implicit part is equally important because that is the basic drive. So implicit DTE, desire, thought, and expectations have to be there. Then and then only your abilities you can convert into performance. Thank you, Didi.
Very right, sir. Yeah. So I just came to an example here when one of our face to this online workshop, one of our participants was saying that now how do I the skill part of it? That time I don't remember his question, but what I remember is that see, I know very well I what am I supposed to have for lunch. No, I know this, so the skill is there that this samosa or this pizza or this sweet is right now not good for my health. So I know, but what is going on in me, I just give in to the sensation. And then I have that pizza or I have that sweet. So that competence, are we able to see that that is so very a dominant this thing in which we in fact operate outside. So at times, many a times we think we have these questions, why don't you take these kind of training programs and see so many training programs. In fact, this WhatsApp University is there all the way. We are having so much information coming our way. Even our doctors, if we have having a specific prescription from a doctor also, you have to do this. You have to get up in the morning, do exercise for 15-20 minutes like this. It has been told to us, but still now I am not able to do that. I know this pizza on the platter. I'm having a choice, right? I'm having pizza. I'm having this samosa. I'm having no, rice and dal. I'm having roti, which is roti and sabji or dal, which is better for me. I know it, but still, then I opt for pizza. You know? So many times we see that the skill is there. I know what is right and what is not right for me right now to have, but I lack competence at that point in time. So I'm enslaved at that point in time. The sensation, the source of the desire, thought, expectation, the imagination is now the source is sensation. I'm giving into the senses, isn't it? At that point in time. Nice, Mia. So yes, skill is part of it, but competence is what is going on in me. What are my desires? What are the thoughts? And what are the expectations? That is what is making. Where is it getting the source? Is it it is sourced in preconditioning? Is it sourced in sensation? Or is it sourced in natural acceptance? What is the source of my imagination? Yeah, anyone else would want to share something? So let's see, actually in the, yeah, So this slide only happens to just tell us as to what exactly is going. This is what is going on in me. No? Desires, thought, expectation, the imagination. So what we see is uh, the percentage, the share of the imagination. Uh, we see that mostly it is preconditioning. No? I have not verified it. Someone has said that no, this rice is good for you. I got to verify it. In fact, if I am very aware, I'll be able to see whether rice is good for me or chapati is good for me, wheat is good for me, or jawar is good for me. In fact, if I'm aware, I will also make it out also for myself. But what I see for myself, I'm not that aware. And thus, I don't know what is going on. I'm having whatever. So many times, my imagination that is being driven is through preconditioning. At times, in fact, I don't have to go to a doctor also to ask exactly what I have to have. If I'm aware, in fact, I can make out. Okay, whenever I have this particular, this cereal, this is not good for me. This particular vegetable doesn't suit me. I can make out if I'm aware. So we'll have to see. The competence is what you are. You know, this could be my competence. I have to increase my competence. This is the complete potential. I can see, I can make this complete, this circle yellow. Yellow means all my desire, thought, expectation is taking its input from natural acceptance. This is where I want to reach. This is where you want to reach. This is where is our destination that we all are wanting to. Without understanding, maybe we are making so many attempts here, there. But when this becomes yellow, this is where, that is what is the state of happiness. I want to be in that state always. The competence is this, and definitely the skill is a part of it. I know that I don't have to have this pizza. I don't have to have this samosa. I know this rice and dal is there, and I am supposed to have that. That is the best thing for me right now. But I give into the sensation. So I'm this portion, this dark portion, this black portion. I'm driven by that, isn't it? This is what is the imagination. From here, I am getting sourced. So when we say competence, competence is accumulated imagination, desire, thoughts, and expectation. Skill is a part of competence, not all of it. Not all of it. The right evaluation of competence, evaluation of how much of the imagination is motivated by natural acceptance. It includes evaluation of the skills related to work. So, okay, this some studies there of Harvard Business School. We're just talking about competence, and maybe we'll have to see when it is generally talked about competence, it is only talking about skills. Maybe there is it really? It could be. It depends upon like how it is. So, is it majorly skills, or is it also the attitude or the person's abilities, to handle things? So contemporary evaluation of competence could be evaluation of the skill plus the evaluation of uh, attitude or likability. So you can just see this is some Harvard study that is showing on the x-axis that is likability and on the y-axis is competence. So when a person is having very low competence and very low likability, we may be desperately avoiding such a person. But the likability of the person is more, but the competence is less. So it could be that the person is very likable, but then we'll have to see the competence of the person. So what exactly we desire is that high likability and high competence. High likability could be even the person's ability to connect with people, to see relationship with the other person. So we'll have to just see whether we can just paste some studies just like that. So we'll have to understand that in UHV, when we are talking about competence, where exactly, now what exactly we are saying is the accumulated imagination, desire, thought, and expectation. And definitely, skill is a part of this competence, not all of it. So, yeah, so we'll be ending this lecture on trust here. Anything anyone would want to share? Anything, whatever has been discussed till here? Then we'll go to the next session, that is respect, next feeling. Do we have any demo session, Didi, today?
No, Didi.
Acha. Okay. So actually, it would be nice. Every meeting we keep on saying this, that more and more demo sessions if we have, In fact, what I could see for myself is we prepare for the demos, and we do have so many questions also, and we have that interest also created in this content. And gradually, we see that so many of our questions are also getting resolved as we prepare for these sessions. So I would request all of you all to, in fact, come up and have these demo sessions, prepare for these sessions. And we are all just family members over here, and we can just see how each of us can improve our the way we have to place this content in front of our students. So, and that also keeps on us, uh, attached to these meetings. For myself, I could say, because ultimately, when we are preparing for the sessions, we now want to discuss it with people, and in that process, the best part is that I am also getting clarity on these content, and I'm also validating in my living in that same time also. So it is helpful for me and helpful for my students also. So I would request all of you all. In fact, we have so many people. So Sumati Didi, we can ask all of the participants, the family members joined here, if we can have some demo sessions from your side in the next time. So Padma Didi is joining after a long time. So we have Madhvi Didi also. She's joined for the first time today. She's from SRM. So we can have Didi. We can have Ji Padma Didi.
Yes, Didi, it is. I'm attending first time.
Didi, welcome, Didi. So it is nice. You have attended. When did you do your workshop? First workshop, Didi?
I have attended the UHV first year workshop that I have completed, and I started the session morning session 6:30 to 7:30 Hindi workshop.
Okay, nice, very nice, Didi. So I would also request that you prepare for some of our demo sessions, so we can just
Yes.
we have the video, the lectures, the PPTs are already there. So much of videos are there on the YouTube, and we can prepare, and all of us can make up our minds, and we can have demos, 1 or 2 slides of free slides. It would be nice.
Yes.
In fact,
We will
yeah.
try.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Didi.
Thank you, Didi.
Yeah. Thank you. So because when we prepare for these demos, now I happen to see my own videos that I had long back, 2 years back, that time now I see that, oh God, I didn't have the clarity at that point in time. So when I now look at it, earlier I thought that it is not that no, it's not that I'm placing it correctly only, I used to think. Now over the time, as we are placing it, discussing it, so many opportunities are there to discuss, then over the time, automatically some more clarity has come. And definitely, maybe after some 3-4 years, when I look back to these recordings, if they are there, then definitely I'll be able to see that there has been a significant change from here. So all of us can make up our minds, with that, and place the content. Demos, gives demos over here. So there is a provision on Saturday also we can give, and Sundays also we can give these demo sessions. So when let's move on to the next feeling of respect. So in the lecture 15, we'll just talk about respect. So earlier we are Didi is writing. Nirupam Didi. Yeah. Yes, Didi is writing your podcast. So it is not a so Didi, that is so the UHV lectures are
audio book.
yeah.
Audio book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that in fact, actually, I have noticed that in that audio book, concepts are very, very, very much elaborated. It's very nice in your voice. Thank you.
So Didi, that is the same book only. It's nothing different than that. It is a book, just a voice is there, so that no, if we are not having time to read the book, we can just go to the this audio, and that audio, it is just an audio, just a
यार दीदी एक्चुअली ना वही कि मतलब बुक के लिए ज्यादा टाइम लगता है
हाँ, पढ़ने में जैसे ना हमें काफी समय लगता है, और सुनने में यह है
हम्म,
कि कुछ और भी कुछ कर रहे हैं तो हम सुन
जी
सकते हैं
जी
ऐसे।
जी जी बस वही हाँ।
जी जी, बिल्कुल। So yes, we are having so many, as Didi pointed out, we have having the book also gradually coming up in the audio form, so that if we want to, we do not have time and we are in the kitchen, if the female, we have this thing that we don't have the time always, so we can just listen to this audio, the content of the book. Yeah, anytime. In fact, so many videos, these FAQs, in fact, of Ganesh sir, all our senior resource people, they are there on the YouTube. So we all can refer to it and prepare our sessions, and we can give demo sessions in these Saturday, Sunday weekly meetings. So we can just move ahead to respect then. Respect as right evaluation. So we are just exploring harmony at the level of the family, and in that we're just uh, we are we were discussing on trust for these many of the weekends. In fact, have gone discussing trust. In fact, trust is so important, and it is, at times I see that for me, I see that I'm so much preconditioned, and I see people around me also so much preconditioned about, no, you cannot trust anyone. Everyone is not trustable. So this got set in my mind that not everyone is supposed to be trusted. And that opposition is there. Now, even if it is, and when, especially when there is a lot of news around, uh, and so what happens when you're moving out, you just don't want to trust anyone around you. And are you okay with that? And so much of unnecessary opposition you are carrying at that point in time. So, yes, the intention of the other person is pure. Seeing that the other person didn't want to drop the glass, as I also don't want to drop the glass, it slipped out. I'm quite clear on my intention. Am I able to see that other person intention is also pure? So at least that trust should not be that difficult, but even that is it is taking time to see that the other person intention is pure. What could be? There could be a lack of competence. So what do I do? So as now, seeing the competence, the person's competence may be low. So yes, I do not just leave my luggage in the platform unattended. There could be people whose competence is low, may think that, okay, I can just take away the luggage and it could be I don't have to work hard. Otherwise, for the same thing, I have to work hard. So could be the case. So I have a program. Looking at the competence, mutual competence, I make the program. So with trust only, we can evaluate this other person. So what is being said is respect is right evaluation. Right evaluation is possible only when I am clear on my own intention and I am clear on the intention of this other person. So trust on intention, I can go ahead to evaluate this other person. We are able to when we are able to see this here, in fact, we're talking about relationship. With this clarity, this other person is not, as I am not just the body, this other person is also not just the body. I am self and body in coexistence. This human being that this person is self and body in coexistence. This other person is also the same. And the relationship, when we see, relationship is between the self to the other self. The feeling is there in me for the other person, and it is there in the other person. Means the person, it is the self of the other person. This feeling is there. Whenever these feelings are there, I can recognize them. Whenever the feeling of trust is there, I can recognize them. Whenever this feeling of trust is shared by the other person also, I can recognize them. Who recognizes? Does the body recognize the feeling or the self recognize the feeling? You see that the self only recognizes the feeling. Na? Body has no role in recognizing. What is the role of the body? It is just the senses that I'm able to hear, I'm able to see the expression, I'm able to hear, isn't it? The senses are giving me information and I'm making it out that yes, this is a naturally acceptable feeling. So the feeling is recognized by me. I get information from the senses. So if the other person is very loud, he is shouting at me, I am getting the information. But the expression of the other person is giving me the information. The eyes are also giving me the information. But I make out. I make out what is going on in the other person, what is going on in me, and what is going on in the other person. I have an idea over the other person, but I'm sure of myself. But what is the idea of the other person? Am I having the clarity that the other person's intention is pure as mine? So I'm able to recognize the feeling in me for the other person. And I share this feeling with the other. This is going to lead to mutual happiness. So the trust, feeling of trust is there in me. I share the feeling of trust with the other person. The other person evaluates it and sees that yes, this is the right, naturally acceptable feeling of trust. The other person also is happy about this, and I am also very happy about this. So it leads to mutual happiness. Now I had shared this feeling of trust to the other person, but the other person was not able to make out that. So what happens? I am happy about it. But right now, this feeling has not reached this other person. So maybe the other person, for the other person, it has not led to happiness. So it's my responsibility here that I am sharing the feeling of trust, and the other person is also able to make out that it is a trust that I'm sharing. And once the person is able to make out, that would lead to happiness in me as well as happiness in the other person. With this feeling of trust, I go ahead to evaluate this other person. So when we say respect, what comes to our minds when we generally hear this word respect? Where do we place it? Respect is, this person is a highly respected person. When we say this, what is respect in contemporary terms? Highly person on a higher post, person who has achieved something, some awards, a person who is having so many physical facility. What is respect? So let's see, look into, we have in fact elaborated on this so many times, you must have heard this also, that respect is right evaluation. So with this clarity that the human being is self and body in coexistence, I can go ahead to evaluate the other person. Evaluation of the human being, right evaluation is possible on the basis, on the clarity of intention. So both intention and competence both. We are evaluating, right evaluation of the human being, the intention and the competence. We're looking at both of it. At the level of the intention, when I can see my own intention, I'm clear of the other person's intention also. So at the level of trust, the feeling of trust, I have nothing to evaluate there, isn't it? I have to just see, look into it myself, whether I'm having this feeling of trust or not. So what do you feel respected when there is over evaluation, under evaluation, or otherwise evaluation? We'll have to look into it. Whenever there is over evaluation, do you feel respected? Whenever there is under evaluation, over evaluation, so the college is not gonna run if you're not there. Yeah? It is on you that the complete structure is standing. The student is done well, the student can do anything. We'll have to see whether it is over evaluation or correct evaluation of the student, or if the student has not done anything, is not good at anything, you see the skill part of it, the student has not done well in his subject, I say he's good for nothing. I evaluated less for what it is, because definitely I have not even paid attention. Maybe is maybe good at some things. You know? Otherwise, evaluation, I go ahead and I maybe say that this person is, not compare him to something innate or inanimate, like or maybe a animal, like he's a donkey, yeah, or something like that. If I say, then maybe we can say otherwise evaluation. So any of these, whenever we are doing, we'll have to see, is it respect? Do we feel respected when all of these three happen with me? So all of this is not naturally acceptable to me, and whenever the evaluation is not right, it is disrespect. Is it okay? Do you see that? So what may be happening? We can check for ourselves in every interaction with the other, whether it is respect or disrespect. It is right evaluation or otherwise over, under, or otherwise evaluation. And whenever we are doing this, are we okay with this? Is it naturally acceptable to me? You know? So what were the implications of that? It may happen, what may happen with the students also, it may happen with our children also, it may happen with me also, it happens so many times. So I may go on in ego. So we gave this example of walking into a party with a particular dress. Someone is saying, you're looking so nice, and comparing you with some of celebrities there. Now, what goes on in me? I can see my complete demeanor, the way I walk. Huh? All of that changes when I go in, and then someone tells me, this is a old-fashioned dress and it's not looking good on you, or this color is not suiting you. They say, no, this color na, is not uh, reflecting well on you, or something like that. If someone, a friend of yours, happens to say that, and it many a times it does happen with your very very close, uh, sisters, or they are very very curt at that, and they say, why did you put on this dress? This dress is not looking good on you. Maybe or some of our friends may not say this, but at times who are very close to us, they will tell you. Now what happens is over evaluation. What does under whenever there is over evaluation, you go into ego, and whenever there is under evaluation, you go into depression. So this would be the way it happens for us whenever this is happening. So now everything is outside. Someone has said something, I go in ego. Someone else has said something other, under evaluation. All of this is outside, isn't it? But what would be the right thing? I evaluate. I rightly evaluate. So what is the dress requirement of the dress for? And yes, I've gone for a party. Maybe I can just see according to the occasion. I have placed. I am dressed appropriately. Right? So I'm self-confident about it. What is the requirement of a dress? I have the clarity on that, and then it doesn't matter to me then what people are saying about. So I don't go into ego and depression, but maybe if I see that there has to be some correction as to that also I'll look into. But I'll not go into depression or ego. Yeah. So I evaluate. I am self-confident. The right evaluation. So here, this is where I want to be, not moving, make this like a sine curve. So maybe this is happening with me. But whenever we are doing right evaluation, what would be the basis of the right evaluation? So basis of the right evaluation would be The self or the body? So what we see is the right evaluation is only possible when the basis of right evaluation is the self. Because the human being is self and body in coexistence. And when their basis is self, what we see is that we are same, we are just same, similar at the level of the self. There are differences at the level of the body. So we'll come ahead. But to have this clarity, let's see that. When we say we are having the clarity that I am not just the body, as well as the other is not just the body. This person, I am the self, and this body is my instrument. Same as with this other person, I am having clarity on the purpose. Purpose of mine as well as this other person's is the same. Whatever we may be doing, whatever steps we may be taking, whatever assumptions may be there in me, but ultimately, I want to be happy in continuity, prosperous in continuity. That is what is my purpose. That is what is the purpose of this other person also. But only I should be able to tap this. I should be able to see this with clarity. So I may be seeing that no, I have to become the VC of the university. That is my purpose. But let me look into it. Why do I want to become the VC also? I have assumed that I will be happy once I reach there. I have to go to a outing, to a tour. What I have thought that yes, I'll go on a tour, then I will be happy. That assumption must be there, maybe there in me. So ultimately, I want to be happy only. Whatever I may be doing, whatever steps we may be taking, I may be taking some different steps, you may be taking some different steps, but I want to be happy only. Happy and prosperous in continuity. So that is what is my purpose, and that is what is your purpose. This clarity is going to dawn on me only when I am able to see my natural acceptance. I see that the purpose is same for me and you. The program for reaching this goal is the same. So I will only understand and then become happy. Only I'll understand the harmony at all the 4 levels, and then only I will be happy. When I live by that understanding, only then I will be happy. So my program is to understand and live by that understanding, right understanding at all the 4 levels. The other person also will be reaching the purpose in the same manner only. Others program is also the same only. Maybe I may not be clear on that, the other may not be clear on that, but ultimately we are all working towards it. We may have assumed certain things. Ultimately, to reach this purpose, this clarity of program has to be there. So the program is also the same. And if I see the potential, it is not that I am only endowed by this natural acceptance. That is intention. This other person is also endowed with natural acceptance. Everybody, the small child, the elderly, everyone is endowed with natural acceptance. So right now, this whatever is going on in my imagination, if it is not as per my natural acceptance, I have the potential, I have the capability to make it in line with the natural acceptance. And same is with the other person also. His desires and thoughts and expectations are going on in me. I can also be aware, and I can also self explore. As my awareness improves, I will be able to realize this potential more and more. And similar is the case with the other person also. The other person will also be able to realize this potential more and more. The other person is also having the same potential. It is not that one person is having more potential, the other person is having less potential. It is not that. So at the level of the self, what we are seeing is that my purpose, my program, my potential, and the other person's program, purpose, program, potential is also the same. So when we look at that, the level of the self, this other is similar to me. I am just like this other person. There's no difference there. Is it okay with whatever has been discussed till here? Any questions? Any sharing still, whatever has been discussed? As far as respect is concerned, am I able to see that the purpose of mine and this other person is the same? Am I able to see the program of me and this other person is the same? What do I see? This other person's potential? Is it also the same? Or he is lacking the potential? This is what I'm able to see. Is it the same? Can we say that? So right evaluation. Right evaluation is possible only when we have the clarity of the self. It is only possible on the basis of the self. At the level of the self, our purpose, program, and potential, that's clarity, we can see. While there are similarities at the level of the self, what do we keep doing in our day to day living? We accept the other as being similar to us. Do we do that? Or do we try to show that we are special, unique, different from other? At times it does happen. So in the college also very recently, there is a new person has joined the college, and the person is not very particular about but finding out exactly how things are done, and so many times errors are happening. So what happens, we all most of us just maybe getting together and seeing how the person is not able to do it, not able to get it only. And at times we may be getting up into this gossip that this and this we are delineating this person. Ultimately, what do we want? We want the person to be helping us in the complete process, isn't it? Many a times we may be doing that, but this person is having less understanding. I have labeled him like that, this person, and now we want to differentiate. We don't want to be with them, we don't want to talk with them, we want to be, see how I can show that you are a different group or I am a different group. We are special people, we are responsible people, we do things correctly, and you are a person who is flowing always. You don't do things properly. Making the other person realize that when we tap, we see, look into our natural acceptance, is it okay with us? And then so many times happens that if the person is sitting across in the lunchroom, people would say, okay, now we'll sit in this group, we don't want to sit and talk with this person also. Why? Are we helping this person up? We have labeled this people, and now this is shown in my behavior outside. Do we keep differentiating like this? Maybe the person is not able to understand the systems in the new place. Are we helping this person? Or we are making those boundaries, those gaps so wider that the person is also not able to come up and ask for help so many times. And help is just, across the table and it's so easy. But now we are making those boundaries so much, those gaps so fixed now. We don't want to interact with this person. The other person also is fearful of whether the other person should come up and ask these questions. It may be happening in our workplaces. Do we accept the other person as being similar to us? Or we try to show that we are special, unique, different from the other? We may reflect on this. We may be doing these differentiation at the level of the body, age, gender, race, and physical facility. So age, this child is younger to me. No? A student is younger to me. So because I have not accepted the student to be self and body in coexistence. No? Age, gender, this misconception, this misunderstanding that human being is equal to the body is playing here. Whenever I am differentiating the person on the level of age, gender, race, and physical facility. So we may be doing that. Whenever we are doing that, if a person is a small person, a stout person, or we can say, we call him by name, oh Chotu, come here. It's okay. What is the feeling in me? Okay. You'll have to look into it. When we are calling them with names, maybe the other person is also not very stable. At times he's okay with that, but at times he may not be okay with that. So we'll have to just see. While the reality is that human being is coexistence of self and body. But if we are having this misunderstanding that human being is body, then we may be doing this only. With the child, we may be shouting at the child, we may be imposing things on the child. The student, we may be imposing. You can see this for age, gender, race, and physical facility. Physical strength. Another differentiation we may be doing at the level of the physical facility. The person who is at a higher post, more wealth, the person who has accumulated. What is playing when we do differentiate people on the basis of this physical facility? What is going on in me? The gross misunderstanding playing here is that physical facility is equal to happiness. And when I've seen people who are having a lot of wealth, I assume that they are more happy. And I'm working day and night to get those physical facility that these people are having. Now these have become my ideals, and I just want to be like them, have so many physical facility that these people are having. Because I've assumed that physical facility is equal to happiness. That clarity on what exactly is happiness, if it is not there. Happiness is a state of harmony, a state in which I want to be, I want to remain. And if this clarity is not there, then I may be differentiating people on the basis of physical facility. And another differentiation could be belief systems. So these people are my group, These people, same belief systems, to so Hinduism, Buddhism, or socialism, or capitalism, all these isms. Why? Because they have a certain way of thinking. Their belief system, they believe certain things together is right. So these are like me, and rest of them are not like me. So this is my group. This is my sect. These traditions that people are following, same traditions. Now these people are mine. As far as information also, okay, these are, we connect like this also, no? So many times it does happen. Okay, you are also from the same, you're also an engineer, I'm also an engineer. Or I'm also a civil engineer, you are also a civil engineer. We connect. And what about this person who is a pharmacist? Now, what happens when we get together? All the people who are coming from the same, having the same information, they get together. They think that this is me, my group, and all of them, rest is the other group. So we may be differentiating like that. So beliefs. So differentiation could be on this basis. Differentiation, whenever we do on the, the basis of belief, what is the preconditioning that is playing? If the preconditioning of the other matches my preconditioning, then the other is like me. His thought processes, his belief systems, his preconditionings are matching like me. Yes, we are friends. We are in the same group. While what we see is that by the reality, every human being is like me. Not only this person who is having a preconditioning the same as me, but also this person who is not having the preconditioning same as me, a different preconditioning altogether, opposite to mine, is also like me only. The other person's purpose program potential, who is believing in some other belief system, is also the same like me. So whenever there is differentiation, do you see that there is disrespect? That is disrespect. Ji. Chamundeshwari Didi is having a question in the chat there. Is potential same as competence? Ji Didi. Yeah. So potential, when we say, so purpose, program, potential. So I have the potential. This other is also having the potential, but I have not realized my potential, isn't it? Complete potential. The portion of the potential has been realized for me. For the other person, maybe more has been realized. So this example, I think this is there. Like this. See, if we look into this, now this could be my picture, my potential. This is my potential. See, everyone's potential is the same, but this is my competence. Someone else's competence is more than me. Someone else's competence is less than my competence. So at the level of the competence, there is so much differences, right? But the potential, the same potential is there with all of us. Is it okay, Didi? Do you want to say something? Chamundeshwari Didi? So potential is the same, but I may have not realized. So for myself, I can see that I have not realized that potential, but that is what is my goal. I want to, this competence is here. I want to bring it here, right? This person's competence is here. He's also working to bring it here. This person's competence is very low. This person is also working to bring it here. Maybe at times we may be not working in the right direction, isn't it? So many times we are making an effort. We think that happiness is equal to physical facility, and we are working to accumulate physical facility. But when will the competence reach here? When I will be able to understand my program correctly. When I'll be able to understand my program correctly, only then it is possible that my competence happens to increase. And this is my complete. This is what is completeness of right understanding. All desire, thought, and expectation of mine are now guided by natural acceptance. So I reached my complete potential. Everyone has the same potential. But at the level of the competence, we may be differing. But what do we do when we are differing at the level of the competence? We differentiate or we see the complementarity. So that is what it is. The complete content of respect, isn't it? So this is what it is. At the level of the self also there is a difference. As you said, there is a difference at the level of the self. What is naturally acceptable to us? To use the difference in competence for complementarity, or to use the difference in competence for differentiation, discrimination, domination. So what do? I see that, oh, my competence is here and this person's competence is low. So what do? Do I differentiate? Do I dominate? Or do I help this person? And when I see this person's competence is more than me, what do? I am ready to learn from this person, isn't it? I just take help from the other person. So what happens? What do? When I see, yes, there is a difference in competence. What do I do about it? So yes, purpose, program, and potential, at that level, we all are similar, but the competence may be different. No? So on the basis of right evaluation of our mutual competence, means seeing my own competence and the competence of the other, I recognize the complementarity and fulfill it. So what is the complementarity? If I see that other is more understanding, is more responsible than me, then I am committed to understand from the other person, seek help from the other person. But if I see that I am more understanding, I am more responsible than the other, then what do? I live with responsibility with this other person, unconditionally, unperturbed by the behavior of this other person. I am committed to facilitate understanding in the other person. So yes, as Geeta Didi was saying there, my husband shouted at me. So I am able to see that. Okay, here I am able to see that yes, my competence is more. Right now, at that point in time, my husband's competence is less. What do? what do? I act with responsibility. I live with responsibility with the other, unconditional and unperturbed by the behavior of the other. I'm committed to facilitate understanding in the other. When do I try to help the other person? When do I move ahead to facilitate the other person? Only when the other person is assured in the relationship. Na? Otherwise, what happened? He has shouted at me, and I shout back at him, and I'm saying the right thing, I think. Maybe I'm right saying the right thing also, but is the other person getting it? Not getting it, isn't it? This is what keeps happening so many times in our homes also. At that point in time, only I want to facilitate understanding in the other person. And it doesn't work like that. The other person is not ready to listen. So other person, once a person is assured in the relationship, only then the other person is ready to even listen to us. Na? Only then we can help the other person. So the person should be assured by our behavior, isn't it? Nice. Anything anyone would want to share? Till here we have 10 minutes to go. Aditi, we have 10 minutes, right? Any questions?
Yeah, good afternoon, madam.
Ji,
Good
Didi.
afternoon.
Ji,
Yeah,
namaste. Good
yeah, good
afternoon.
afternoon. Good afternoon, all co-explorers. I just want to share one incident that happened yesterday. Yesterday in our college, madam, can you hear me? Hello.
Ji, Didi, you're audible. Yeah,
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yesterday in our college, we have celebrated Women's Day. Actually, last month, one of our department colleague asked me, we are going to buy new set saree for Women's Day. Are you interested? Like that. Then I replied, sorry, madam, and I explained very politely that I'm practicing UHV and I decided not to buy new saree for me, at least for a period of 2 years, and I'm utilizing rightly what I have already. And then yesterday, immediately after reached our department, I saw my colleagues wore set sarees, and I greeted them, expressed that you all look so beauty like that. And in the evening, I noticed a group photo of our department colleagues in our WhatsApp group. In that, except me, all others are there. And immediately I reacted with sharing a super emoji. And but actually in the forenoon session a special program was arranged. In that program, 5 women achievers of Tamil Nadu shared their life experiences, and that was inspired me a lot. The key takeaways from their speech only ringing on my mind throughout the day. Before UHV, myself might be disturbed on seeing others' behavior, but now I'm so cool and calm. And I attended the Sivaratri Puja held in our apartment temple up to 1 p.m. And I enjoyed the puja with my apartment friends. Tomorrow also we are going to celebrate Women's Day function in our residence, in our apartment. And I have been invited to deliver a speech on Women's Day. And I'm also preparing for my session and would like to share about some of our UHV content. Yeah, this is my sharing, Didi. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, very nice, Didi. Nice sharing. Thank you for placing your sharing here. So,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
so the best thing about these sharings are we keep reflecting in our own. Everyone must be reflecting in their own this thing, that what does happen to me also when such a situation I was there. What did I do? What best I could have done? What was going on in me? So nice. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. See, anyone else would want to share something? As far as respect is concerned, also you can share whatever has been said till now on respect. So we have some more time to go. I think we can just, so this is what is complete content of respect. We can just go to the questions maybe, and maybe if we can take some questions on FAQs from you all, that would be nice. Okay. Yeah. So this question is there. Today we respect good people, but not bad people like criminals. One person is successful on the basis of his hard work. He has done his PhD, has a good job. Another person is a loser. So how can we respect both of these people equally? So when this is shared, this content is shared, respect is that the other person is just like me. There's no difference. What is the difference is at the level of the competence only. Hmm? Does this question appear to you or it appeared to your students? How would you want to respond to it? So we would like to listen. We have got some minutes to go, 1 or 2 minutes. You can take this question. Anyone would like to answer this?
Didi, I want to try.
Ji, Didi, welcome.
Didi, all those 9 naturally acceptable feelings are between two selves. As human being is a coexistence of self and body. So actually, since every human being has self, and each self wants the fulfillment of basic aspiration to be happy and prosperous. So whether the person is a PhD or is an illiterate person, both of them has need of to be happy. So and uh, for attainment of this happiness, all these 9 feelings are equally required for each self. So ideally, we must respect both of these people equally, because the person who is a PhD might be a very might be have guided me, but a person who is a peon in my office is not that much of well educated, but still he or she has a important role in the whole organization. Whatever the work my peon is performing in the organization, that work is also equally important. If she is bringing drinking water to me, then if she goes only for one day and I am not having another peon, then obviously sometimes I get means I am need of drinking water na. So I am having discomfort, means I am having difficulty in arranging that water. So we must respect both of these people equally. Thank you, Didi.
जी, बढ़िया दीदी. Let's listen to Ganesh Bhaiya also. जी भैया, नमस्ते. गणेश चंद्र भैया.
हेलो दीदी, नमस्ते.
जी नमस्ते भैया.
Namaste, my other brother sisters. Didi already Nirupam, Didi already told that. So we'll see the self, okay? Because we have discussed that the basic desires, intention, program, potentiality, all are same. If we have the right understanding, we'll see all are same. Only it differs in competencies. So the person who has not done PhD, etc., not established, but we see he might have more practical experiences, because so many we see in our real world, actually so many people, even undereducated, even less educated, they are very much established as an industrialist, or so much means job they have generated even for the lot of people. So we cannot neglect which educated, okay, for educated we may expect something better understanding, that but again there is no guarantee that a educated person would have the better understanding, may not be. So that's why, as already Nirmam Didi told it, so it is the incompetency part is there. So if he is incompetent, I am incompetent, we can provide something to him to have more competencies over even his if he is competent and I am incompetent, even if I am very much educated, but practical experiences may not be having. A lot of examples are there in the day-to-day basis. We do understand sometimes in our, say, different cultural functions, say for example, in our marriage ceremony or any other ceremony, we are very much educated. We have been teaching a lot of years, but practical experiences we are not having. We do take certain help of even under or less educated friends, because he is having lot of experience, practical experiences. We take help from them, and then we can overcome all the different responsibilities. Okay, so that's why, Didi, as Anupam already mentioned, and others, my friends or brothers, sisters, they do understand that thing. So is our objective to everybody make understand the mind's right understanding, right feelings, that has to be there. Okay, if we can provide there, we can make them better understand. The person who is undereducated, also less educated, we can make him understand. We can that help means that complementary, through that we can do our role. But okay, we cannot neglect. We will see both are same, that way. As a human being, and the self is the same.
जी भैया,
Didi,
absolutely भैया. We'll have to just see, na, even this criminal, does he want to really become happy? He's also working towards happiness only. He may have assumed certain thing.
Correct.
Yeah. So at the
Yeah,
level of
correct.
purpose, program, and potential, does he also have the potential or not? है ना? We'll have to see that.
Yes, yes.
He also is having the
Ekdam thik.
potential. I am also having the potential.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, nice, Priya.
Uh,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
sharing. Ji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Didi. Namaste.
Ji, namaste, Priya. So nice. Maitri Didi is writing each one of has different backgrounds or platforms from their childhood. So maybe they are coming, na, with certain presumptions, preconditionings. So maybe they have got into certain things, doing some criminal behavior. But still, we'll have to see. Do they also have the same purpose, program, and potential? They may be working with that assumption. So their assumption is different. My assumption is also different. I'm also having so many preconditioning, isn't it? So we have to see that with clarity that this purpose, program, and potential of this criminal is also same like me only. As Chamundeshwari Didi is writing, doesn't require qualification, wealth, etc. because it is with respect to self and it is same for all. Yes, Didi. Gee, Maitri is again writing, no criminals want to make their children to become like him. Absolutely. If you ask them, do they want their children to do that? They will definitely know. They keep them away from. In fact, never tell them also what they are doing. They don't want them to lead a nice life. So yes, the competence. We'll have to see if we see that the competence. So if I am a PhD person, so my competence is higher. So what we can see is that if I'm having a competence which can impact, we can help other people. So my circle is becoming wider. It should have become wider. So I'll have to see, is my competence, uh, am I able to also see my competence there? What is going on in me, my desires, thoughts, and expectation? It is not only just a degree. You know? Am I competent enough to help? So my circle, if I'm more competent, my circle of influence or how I can facilitate understanding in the other person would also be wider, isn't it? So am I able to see that? So it could be a PhD person, a criminal, anyone. Am I able to see that the purpose, program, and potential is the same? The competence may be different. Gee, I think we have just run out of time also. So we can take this question again maybe next time when we come in. So Didi, over to
Yeah,
you.
Didi.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Didi. Thank you so much for the enriching session, Didi. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for all the co-explorers for putting your questions across. Thanks a lot. And now let me invite Geeta Didi to give the vote of thanks. Geeta Didi, you are most welcome. Geeta Potraju Didi.
Namaste, Didi.
Didi, yeah, Didi. Namaste, namaste, Didi.
Namaste to all again. So, Sumati Didi started
Didi.
Sumati Didi, I will do some closing.
Yeah, Didi, please, Didi.
remarks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Didi. So we started the conversation with Sumati Didi, initiating the discussion, and she opened up the discussions for today's follow-up meeting. And as per the agenda, she placed the agenda before all of us. And Soumya Didi welcomed all the family members. She invited all of us to participate in this Saturday follow-up meeting. And then followed by Ishratji. Ishratji placed before us the updates, whatever concluded, and also she placed before us the future plans. She shared with us all the programs that are coming up, and then also encouraged us to share this information amongst our colleagues and other known people for signing up and registering for the programs. Then we had very good discussions today with Aparajita Didi, as a resource person guy, leading this discussion on it was so very personal for all of us. I think relationship with family is something that each one of us can immediately relate and immediately connect. And I think this UHV journey has helped us. I think at least for me, I would say that the biggest benefit I have got by being a part of this conversation is I've been able to harmonize myself first. I'm kind of feeling more stable and more calmer in many of the circumstances which otherwise I wouldn't have. So I'm sure each one of us feel the same, because the discussions that we have with each other kind of indicates how much this is helping us. And then so many good questions all our family members raised, and there was very good FAQ discussions happened. And then so with this, I think, and I would like to give my thanks to Sharad Bhaiya, who is constantly reminding us about the need for us to be a part of this very, very important conversation, which will keep us sane and going. Thank you very much, Sharad Bhaiya. Thank you very much, Parikshit Bhaiya. And Sumati Didi, back to you. Thank you very much for the beautiful moderation that you did, Sumati Didi. I heard you after a very long time. I'm so glad to
Didi, I didn't
talk
read
to you.
Thank you so much, Didi. But I didn't even read the questions. Didi has read herself.
Yes,
I
yes,
was
but
simply keeping quiet.
very beautifully you anchored the whole thing. So glad to talk to you, Sumati Didi, after a very long time.
Yes, Didi. Yes, Didi. Thank you so much. I'm also actually I joined only to hear your voice, because we could not speak even. Yeah, Didi. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving your valuable concluding remarks. I thank once again all the co-explorers for joining with us, and a special thanks to our beloved resource person Aparajita Didi. Thank you so much, Didi, for your enriching session. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. Let us join together by next week. Thank you. Namaste to all. Namaste.
Namaste to all.
Thank you, Aprajita ma'am, and all co-explorers. Thank you.
Namaste everybody. Namaste.